Hey everybody, welcome to the Best Family Homestead. So it is cold, especially for South Georgia. It's about 38 degrees right now. It's supposed to be down 20s tonight and for the rest of the few weeks. Now it's almost embarrassing really to show some of the homestead where I've been working on projects, and it's a train wreck out here. I definitely got to get stuff fixed up, but one thing you can see is every year I say, hey, I'm going to get up under here and I'm going to insulate back behind all the rocks, and I keep not doing it. You know, normally we don't have but a couple weeks of winter, but it's been chilly this year. It's going to get chillier. I've got most of the front insulated. Planned on starting to chink earlier. There's some places up top there that I've got to put some insulation in tonight because it's going to be cold, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what you do if you live in an old house. Not the first time I've done it, and we're going to wrap some plastic around the bottom of this place and try and keep a little bit of the draft out. And it wasn't so much of a big deal, like I said, when it's not, you know, below 30, but it's been cold. So one of the reasons we're having issues is about 3 or 4 years ago the heat pump went out. It's from the 80s, ductwork's a train wreck, and then heat pumps went out, and it is thousands and thousands of dollars to fix it. I have different plans, and because cold usually isn't much of an issue down here, haven't been worrying about it. I am gonna worry about it this summer, but heat pumps are inefficient, especially since all the ductwork needs to be done. So I'm going to go a different route. Can't use a wood heater because my wife has asthma, and so does my son, so the wood smoke causes more issues than it helps. So for today's video, what we're going to do is try and get around some of the mess, the stuff out the porch, and we're going to wrap some plastic and around the bottom of the house, and we're going to get some more insulation up there in the top, try and kill the draft. So you can see the peacock feathers moving up here. That's where I've taken some of the wood, which really wasn't much insulation, but it did block the wind. And so now we got a good draft coming through here, and we use a monitor for heat right now, which wasn't bad. You know, it works, like I said, until it gets cold and the wind starts blowing. And just so you know, it is hard for me to show people that how far behind I run sometimes. And my poor wife, she is a saint because of doing my shenanigans as far as homesteading and trying to do what I'm doing here. But when I finally decided to do the channel, talking to Robert, I said, hey, you know what, I want to do it true to life, and it's going to be what I'm building here, even if I'm behind, and seems kind of crazy. So let's get started getting all the rest of this insulation in up here so that we can try and stop the draft. So you can see how big some of these holes are. And I know you can't really see back in there, but there's no insulation that's in this whole house. I am putting stuff in the insulation in here right now. This is one of the last boards I'd forgotten to take off, so no insulation value. And definitely likes to let the wind through. So that's what we're trying to get all shoved in now. And I know a lot of you are like, oh, you should use spray foam insulation. Well, I guess maybe a lot of people don't realize is spray foam insulation is not cheap. It's really expensive. And I'm a disabled vet and trying to do the homestead. So trying to do everything as inexpensively as I can. You know, don't have tons of money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars to spend on insulation and really cool new stuff. So we're going to do what we can to make this place livable, just like they would have done back when it was built. You know, they didn't have tons and tons of money. They didn't have tons and tons of money to spend on insulation. Actually, they would have just used, you know, mud. I do kind of want to do a little better than mud, but you know, we'll use what we got here. So we're gonna finish up getting all the rest of this insulated and then start on the plastic under the house. Hopefully get that done tonight so that our little monitor and will heat up a little bit better. One thing I know a lot of people are going to say is, well, why don't you, and they've said it, why don't you just use spray foam insulation? You know, I would love to, but spray foam insulation is expensive. And some of you guys just watch the channel a lot, I'm sure. You know, you picked up, you know, I'm a disabled veteran. Just enough to keep me from having a hard time holding down some normal jobs, some of the health issues and whatnot I have. So, you know, I try and make everything work and do what I can with what I've got without spending tons and tons of money. You know, one thing I always appreciate about, you know, how I grew up is you just kind of make things work. So that's what we're going to do. No reason to spend tons of money. I'm going to do what I can with what I've got, and you know, it's really not horrible inside the house, but try and keep the family at least comfortable. Especially with the way propane prices and stuff is went. So we're almost done with this part here. We're gonna move over to the other side, and then we're gonna start getting this plastic up under the house, and then we should be able to I should at least take care of the majority of the draft. And if the draft's gone, or at least most of the draft's gone, it should be a lot easier to keep this place heated up. So we have all our insulation put up here, and yeah, I showed a little extra. The paper is facing outward. It's just I folded it over. Now all of this is going to be getting insulated, and I ran out, so I'll be putting some more now over the next few days. But you know, this is all getting covered with the board and batten, and then everything over here is going to be getting chinked hopefully here next week or so. But this should help with the draft. And now we're going to go down here and start just stapling some plastic up temporary underneath the rock under the house to try and keep the worst of the air from coming out. All right, so I got my plastic here, and this is a 15 by 25 feet. So, you know, most of what I need to do is only a couple feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread it out and start cutting it down into slices, so I can get up under there and staple it without having to try and cut under the porch and everything and staple it up. So this is a little bit of what I'm fighting down here. Like I said, I bought this place several years ago, and a couple years of back surgeries, being in a hospital, so it set me back a little bit. You know, somebody at some point made an access here. I think probably like 30 years ago, to put the duct and the heat work in, and then they never fixed it. The old duct work is just completely falling apart. I mean, it's in bad shape. We're gonna be getting to that. We're gonna be getting to that very soon now that I'm all healed up and get things going again. Just make it through the next few weeks cold weather, and we'll see what we can get done. All right, everybody, so we made it under a good section of the house, got everything up there done. Looks like we'll be finishing the rest of this up later this week, tomorrow probably, and I'm gonna clean this mess up. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys next time. And with that, here's a closing shot of some of my crazy nut buckets. Mimi, Panda, Maggie, Moxley. They're crazy. So be doing more on them coming up soon. Thanks, everybody.